From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Very warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us on Society Watch. The show comes to you from the stable of Atlantic Television Network every midday. Now, the show aims at looking at happenings across the globe. We'll look at this happening and how it affects the people and the society. After Speed, we'll look at what's happening in Nigeria. We'll go on the short break, and of course, we'll be putting our beam light on those special issues. I am Flora Duke. Stay with us. We'll be right back. right, welcome back. This is Societal Watch. Our eyes are on the society. We watch every happenings in the society. Now, one of the biggest issues happening in Nigeria today is the issue of the resident doctors embarking on a nationwide strike. Now, this comes barely after 103 days where the resident doctors, through their spokesman, Uyi Wala, told the Nigerians and, of course, the federal government that they will be embarking on a nationwide strike after the memorandum of action initially signed in the month of April was not met. Now, the doctors actually decried the lacuna in the healthcare sector, and of course the lackadaisical attitude of federal government towards their staff, and of course most of the resident doctors, those in Abia State, those in Imo State, and of course in Ondo State have been on salary. Take for instance, like in Abia State, some of the resident doctors there are on 19 marks, and in Imo State they've been on 7 marks, and of course in Ondo State most of the resident doctors are on 4 marks. Now this is actually the situation of resident doctors. They decide to go on a nationwide strike beginning from today. Now I have our correspondent with me in the studio to look at what's the compliance rate like? What's the compliance with the resident doctor? We had our lights the UPTH, the Port Harcourt Center, where we have its quarters, the Atlantic Television Network. And of course, our correspondent, Femi Ogunkulede, was there earlier today to look at the compliance level of the resident doctor. Femi Ogunkulede joined me right now in the studio. Femi, thanks for joining me in the show.
You're welcome.
Okay, now you were at UPTH this morning. What is the mode when you got there?
This morning, Atlantic Television Network crew actually visited the Port Harcourt University Teaching Hospital, and we observed that work activities was fully on. The doctors and the consultants were fully on ground attending to patients, and I was so surprised that the resident doctors president had called that they should embark on strike after the federal government failed to attend to their demands. So what I actually observed was that all the patients were even happy because they felt the teaching hospital will as well join the strike. But they were so surprised that doctors, consultants were just attending to patients, and it was so amazing.
Okay, can you actually infer that the call to action to down to was not really effective, or because it's the day one? You know, they said that beginning from the 2nd of August, 8 a.m., that's today. Can we say that because it's day one, that's why we're seeing low level of compliance? Or it's just maybe to call the attention of federal government that we're actually going to do this if you guys don't up your games to meet our demands?
Actually, I can't speak for them, but what we observed was that all the patients were being attended to. And we actually met a Professor Notai,
okay,
who is the chairman of a medical advisory committee at the University UPTH. Actually told us that they have a mechanism of strike, how they operate to and attend to their patients. They don't normally go fully. Whenever there is strike, they attend to their patients, that the lives of their patients is very paramount to them. So they don't want to jeopardize the effort or seeing any of their patients dying due to strike. So if I thought there is any strike, according to him, they will work 70%.
Okay, were you privy to speak with any of the resident doctors? Those who are actually affected by attitude of government to meet their demand? Okay,
I actually spoke with the president of the UPTH Association of Resident Doctors. It was unfortunate that she was unable to grant us audience. She told us that she was in a meeting and we were unable to interview her. We also spoke with our PRO. PRO was not also available for us to speak. It's unfortunate, but we met the chairman of a medical advisory committee at the UPTH, who told us that their pattern at the UPTH, they don't allow their patients suffer.
Okay.
They attend to their patient as a when due.
All right, we'll go on the short break so we hear the Prof speak to us concerning the development over there. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
We have a strike protocol in place. When there is a strike, be it residents, JUHESU, or non-clinical staff, we activate our strike protocol. Now, the consultants are meant to do the work, put in more effort, even to go to the extent of doing the work of the resident to make sure that the welfare of the patients under their care were taken. Now, that strike protocol has been actually commenced. No patient is being discharged. Although the strike may affect some other aspects like some elective surgeries that are planned, but emergencies will be taken care of. We have a strike.
All right, welcome back. That's Professor Unto there. And they said, though the strike is on, but they are fully on ground. Femi, what do you think about this? Are we seeing this pace? Do you envisage that it will remain like this throughout the week?
As I said earlier, I can't speak for them, but according to Onotai, Professor Onotai, who we interviewed earlier, that has been their routine attitude. Whenever they strike, they attend to their patients almost 70%. They don't allow their patient to suffer. They don't allow their patient to go through trauma or whatever. They always very available, to attend to all the needs and to ensure the lives of their patients are safe. And you may recall that the president of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors had over the weekend on Saturday, during a meeting, after their NEC meeting, had a press conference with journalists. Told the journalists that they are actually going to embark on this strike. He also said that the cause of this strike is due to their welfare and their training, including the effective delivery of resident doctors. Haven't sent their proposal to the federal government and the state government, and they failed to attend to their demands. Now, they have urged all their members across the country, nationwide, to ensure they join the strike. But at the UPTH, it's a different scenario. They are fully working, they are on ground, doing their job.
Okay, thank you so much, Femi. And the Society Watch has its beam light on these particular issues. So as situation unravels, trust us to bring it up to speed to you and Society Watch. One other issue we have our eyes on is the issue of compliance of travelers and commuters on the COVID-19 non-pharmaceutical protocols. A coalition of 38 civil society organizations says Nigerians are no longer complying with COVID-19 protocols, especially the use of face masks. The coalition also observed the attitude of some groups across the country to social and physical distancing directives as preventive measures against COVID-19 virus are worrisome. Mr. Bensi Ologwo, Executive Director of Clean Foundation, made this observation in a statement issued in Abuja on Thursday. Ologwo said that the upsurge in the cases of COVID-19 virus infection in Nigeria had become alarming in spite of measures by government to contain its spread. He said this could be attributed to the nonchalant attitude of some citizens towards obeying and complying with the guidelines stipulated by the Presidential Task Force (PTF) and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC). Following report by members of the COVID-19 Nigeria Security Support Group in different parts of the country, Nigerians have become tired of the wearing of face masks and adhering to physical and social distancing. The NSD have also observed a decline in public compliance to level of government directives and ban on public gathering due to the relaxed enforcement of these guidelines by security agencies, leading to the rise in the cases of the disease. This development therefore calls for a concerted effort both by government and citizens to play active roles and responsibility in the enforcement and compliance with preventive guidelines to stop the spread of the virus. The spread of novel coronavirus disease, that's COVID-19, Nigeria continues to record significant increase as latest statistics provided by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control reveal. Nigeria now has 174,315 confirmed cases. On the 1st of August, which was yesterday, 407 new confirmed cases were recorded in Nigeria. To date, we have 174,315 cases have been confirmed. This now brings 165,005 cases, persons discharged, and 2,149 deaths have been recorded across the 36 states of Nigeria. A total of 2.44 million tests have been carried out as at 1st August 2021 compared to 2.36 million tests on a daily earlier. Now, the COVID-19 case update in the 1st of August, a total number of cases recorded is 173,908. A total number of discharge is 165 and 15. Then total number of deaths is 2,149. Total tests carried out is 2,439,950 according to the NCDC. 407 recorded yesterday across 17 states in Nigeria. Lagos is 160 cases, Akwa Ibom 75, Ondo 51, Abia 33, Oyo 29, Kaduna 18, Katsina 7, Yobe 6, Ogun 6, Ekiti 5, Delta State 4, FCT 4, Ebonyi 3, Edo State 2, Niger 2, Bayelsa 1, and Nasarawa 1. This calls for questioning, of course, this calls for us to talk. Now, joining me via Zoom is a consultant and endocrinologist, UPTH, and of course, is the past National Medical Association Chairman, Rivers State Chapter, Dr. Ibitoro Kebe Faye Korobo. And also to talk about compliance of travelers and commuters is Peace Udo from the HEC Travel Agency. Thanks for joining me on the show Society Watch. Okay, I go on that short break and Society Watch begin in just a moment. Stay with us.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on ATN.
We anchor on the facts, breaking news, and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
We anchor on the facts, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
All right, welcome back. The show is Society Watch. This is the platform where we get to look at all of the happenings across the globe. We have our eyes on them. Of course, we look at how this issue actually affects cluster attitude towards the non-pharmaceutical protocol of COVID-19. And of course, this has actually given rise to the scourge of the virus spreading across the globe. Now, just yesterday, Nigeria recorded 407 cases. And of course, a coalition of 36 civil society groups has actually looked at these as the fact that people are no longer complying with the non-pharmaceutical company, that people across different regions looking at travelers, commuters, of course, religious society. Now, I have joining me via Zoom Mr. Patrick, who is, of course, a religious leader and a social analyst, joining me via Zoom to look at this current scourge of the virus spreading across the region. Thanks for joining me this afternoon, and good to have you, Mr. Patrick. Mr. Patrick, can you hear me? Good afternoon, Mr. Patrick. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Mr. Patrick, can you
hear me? I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me also?
Yes. We can hear you, yeah. Okay, let's have you jump on.
Thank you very much, and thank you for what you do.
Okay. Let's have you jump on your observation concerning attitude of Nigerians towards the compliance of non-pharmaceutical COVID-19 protocols. Mr. Patrick, are you still there? Mr. Patrick, can you hear us? Hello, Mr. Patrick. Okay, what seems to be having a technical itch there, coming from his end. Maybe we'll go on a short break. Let's see what the situation is. So, be right back. Just stay with us.
Anchor on the facts, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
All right, welcome back. Is Society Watch. And of course, we have our eyes on issues happening in the society and how these issues tend to affect the people in the society. We're looking at the low level of COVID-19, non-pharmaceutical protocol compliance, and of course, Patrick Wokomer, as a religious leader, who will be talking to us from the religious perspective, how religious worship are actually complying to this non-pharmaceutical protocol. Mr. Patrick, thanks for joining us on the show this afternoon.
Thank you again. My name is Mr. Patrick Uduma.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you. Now, quickly, let's have you jump on what your observation is concerning citizen compliance to the non-pharmaceutical COVID-19 protocols. What have you actually observed? Because a civil society organization had said that Nigerians are no longer complying with the non-pharmaceutical protocols. What do you think about this recent observation by the civil society organization?
I think this is something we need to reinforce consistently to look at the role of the church and to the larger society. I think for me, the church is a mechanism of transformation and compliance. I mean, I could borrow a word that said, if you be willing and obedient, if you be willing and obedient. And one of the characteristics of the Master Jesus Christ is nothing about obedience. And we understand that why our laws, why our authorities are established for protection, for preservation, for security. And if we have laws and we're not able to adhere to them, that means we have chosen another consequence, and the consequence of destruction. So preservation goes along with compliance. Each time you see non-compliance, you are going to see destruction, defection, and all kinds of things. So I think the church need to understand they have a strong role, they have a strong influence to be able to drive this compliance, because I don't like the way we miniaturize things or spiritualize things. No, we have prayers, we have principles. You can pray and condition the people. If you don't follow the principle, then the consequence, you will not be able to manage it. So it is important for us to come back to where we belong as influencers. I strongly believe we are part of a society. We are not isolated from the society. So if whatever affects us, affects to the entire generality. So let us even say that the reason to have authority is to be able to create an order. And in the scripture, it said something that righteousness exalts a nation. Sin, for me, sin is disorder. And once we are in that mood of framework of disorder, the consequences is a choice that we have already predetermined. So my observation is that the church, they are not complying.
Okay.
You see that people are not using nose masks again.
Okay.
They drop the habit of washing hands.
Okay.
I mean, these are natural things that should have come in without even enforcement.
Okay.
So my point is,
Mr. Patrick, I'll come back to you. Let me quickly talk to Dr. Let me talk to Dr. Doctor, thanks for joining us on the show this afternoon.
Yes, Laura. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Very well, I'm good. Oh, okay, issues, eyebrows have been raised concerning non-compliance of the non-pharmaceutical measures of COVID-19. And of course, this lackluster attitude have given rise to the scourge of the virus in the society today. Now, as a medical doctor, what do you think would have been responsible for this low level of non-compliance?
Well, Flora, thanks for having me on. My name is Dr. Koro. I'm a consultant physician and endocrinologist. Well, I think the first step here, stress, is that when you have a disease that can spread from one person to another, that is called a communicable disease. It's important that you send the right message across. I think one of the first factors that has influenced non-compliance is the way government sent the message. It appeared to have been politicized, and that created doubt in the minds of people if COVID-19 actually even existed. And even for those that believed it existed, they also felt that it was restricted to a particular sect of people, the rich. Now, usually, when you want to comply to, preventive measures, non-pharmaceutical preventive measures, it's important that you carry key stakeholders along. The church should be carried along. Traditional institutions should be carried along. Social political groups should be carried along. At the end, somebody goes to church, the pastor is reminding him, you need to wash your hands, wear your face mask. He goes to the market woman is telling him, look, ma'am, or sir, wear your face mask. So everybody is saying the same thing. Now, the other thing to stress, Flora, is that this message should be spread by the right people. So let's say I want bus drivers to be compliant with COVID-19. If I come to talk to them, it may not be as impactful as if I have trained their union leaders to talk to them. So they are learning these things, hearing the voice of their own people. A market woman would prefer to listen to a fellow market woman trained and is explaining to her in a manner in which she will understand. All this will ensure compliance.
Okay, interesting. I like the fact that you mentioned the church, and but you're not including other religious organizations, because we don't just have the church, we have the Muslim as well. And of course, we saw video clips when they had their just concluded Eid al-Kabir. We saw a lot of things played down there. Are they not inclusive in this battle as well?
I use the church as an example for other religious bodies. Of course, I would therefore, my statement actually implies that church and all other religious bodies should be carried along, in spreading this message. And Flora, Nigerians, Africans, these traditional institutions cannot be wished away. They play a key role in, the advocacy of good health. If you look at history, almost all religions in the course of their preaching their word stressed on good health, exercise, even food. If you're a Christian and you go through the book of Leviticus, for example, there are specific foods you may be told not to eat because of certain implications. So the message I'm sending here is that religious bodies, social political bodies, professional institutions all have a role to play in the prevention of communicable disease, especially in this case, COVID-19.
Dr. Faye Korobo, I will come back to you. Our NCDC released last week, when they were giving us updates, they said one of the major causes of the rise in this scourge is the fact that the airports are not well looked into, because the Delta variant we witnessed in the month of April, when in the month of July, when Nigeria first announced the Delta variant of this virus, we were told that it came into the country through an international travelers. So we'll speak to a travel agency now, Peace Udo, who is a ticketing supervisor, Heck Travel. Let's know what measures you guys put in place, how you do your thing to ensure that international travelers, those actually traveling in and out of the country, are well watched, are looked into, of course, are guided not to come in with this virus. Peace, good afternoon, thanks for joining us. Good afternoon, Mr. Peace, and thanks for joining us on Society Watch. Miss Peace, are you there? Miss Peace, can you unmute yourself so we could communicate? Miss Peace, are you there? Okay, let me come back to you, Doctor. Dr. Faye Ibukorobo, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
here.
okay. We were told by NCDC that the Delta variant came into the country through an international travelers. Can you jump your weight to these comments? Our international agency or FAN actually doing so much to curtail this virus from our borders and, of course, our airport?
I think the first thing to say, Flora, is that the SARS-CoV-2 virus is a virus, and you know that it will constantly mutate, change to survive. We've had variants, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and now we're on Delta. So this is the fourth variant of this virus. Now, having established that, the fact is that remember that COVID-19 is an imported infection. So what that means, Flora, is that it's not a homegrown, like say Lassa fever, for example. COVID-19 is imported. So the cases we've had from COVID-19 came from outside Nigeria. Therefore, our gateways into our country remain the most significant part to prevent new variants from coming in. So there is a big role that travel agencies, the Federal Aviation Airport Authority, and the rest of them have to play. Now, one of the first things is to make sure that they educate critical key stakeholders in that industry. So, for example, a travel agency should have been trained by NCDC and FAN to know what to expect when they are helping people in ticketing to come in or out of our country. Now, when you get to the airports, international airports, I think our people have stepped up their game. I must say that, Laura. I've recently had the opportunity to travel, and they stepped up their game. They've tried to put all the necessary things in place. However, remember that one of the key ways is to ensure that we check for people that have been screened, i.e. the COVID screening protocol from when you come into the country, while you're in the country, the isolation period, and the rescreening. These things have to be followed up because you are dealing with a virus that has an incubation period. What that means in simple English is I could be infected and I will not show any signs or symptoms. I'll have no complaint, my temperature will be normal, but I may be infected. So the key way to know is to make sure that before people come in, they are screened. Usually this test should expire within 48 to 72 hours. When they are in, you categorize them and decide on those that you're going to isolate. And when they are isolated, again, you must screen them. You must screen them. And all this will help in its prevention. So the key thing here is ensuring that critical stakeholders are trained on their roles to play in prevention.
Okay, interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. Faye. I'll be coming back to you. Let me quickly talk to Emmanuel Uchendu. Emmanuel Uchendu, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Emmanuel,
good afternoon, Flora.
Okay.
Thank you for having me in.
Okay, I'm sure you've been following our conversation. Okay. Now,
yeah, sure.
Okay. Now, what have you observed concerning the checking in, of course, checking out, or travelers coming into the country and, of course, going out into the country? Like our doctor mentioned, he said travel agency like yours should be trained, and you guys should be trained by NCDC and FAN. I don't know how you react to this. Are there certain training given to you guys or your agency before booking tickets for travelers and but checking them as well? Because the doctor said travel agencies, workers, they should be trained by NCDC, they should be trained by FAN as well. Is there any sort of thing like that going on in your company, Ek Travels?
Okay, thank you very much for having me in. First and foremost, I would say NANTA, I must give credit to NANTA for what they're currently doing. NANTA is actually the national association. They are giving so much in ensuring that travel agencies in Nigeria are being trained on a regular basis concerning the industry as well as the NCDC COVID-19 protocol. And it is actually very common to say that the travel agencies in Nigeria are doing their best to comply to this protocol. And the NCDC website, as we have it currently, is being updated on a daily basis, on weekly basis, on the protocols for these the protocols for containing this disease, this virus. So basically, I can't say right now that there is a training from NCDC directly to the travel agents, but I am sure NANTA has put a lot of energy to train the travel agents in Nigeria.
Okay, tell us what this training entails. Just walk us through what the training itself entails. Were you trained to check? Were you trained to look at their eyes? Just walk us through what this training actually entails.
Okay, basically, for both the NCDC website have the protocols, the measures we have to follow, every passenger have to follow in order to ensure that the COVID-19 spread is reduced to its minimum. And NANTA has done so much to, in her platform, inform every travel agent who care to attend or who care to follow what is going on the platform to see through these protocols. For instance, passengers who are to come into Nigeria have certain protocol they must follow, like having their COVID-19 test before coming into the country. And if the test positive, they are not allowed to board the flight. And of course, if negative, they are allowed to board, and on arrival into Nigeria must go through the isolation process and must also go through the post COVID test, like after coming in and after their isolation must go through another COVID test to confirm that yes, they are free of the virus before they are allowed to get into the cities. No doubt some passengers may want to boycott these protocols, but I must say it is now the sole responsibility of the agent to bring to the knowledge of these passengers the intent of having these protocols obeyed, and seeing to the fact that they do follow the whole protocol up to the end. Okay. You know, and the airlines also play key roles, because on arrival at the airport, these passengers come with their test. We, for instance, in Air Travel Agency, we believe in due process, and we have actually educate on a daily basis our passengers and ensure that they follow this process. For instance, if I have a passenger who is to travel, I would follow up with the passenger to ensure that prior to their check-in date, they go through the COVID-19 test, okay, and make sure that it's legit. Okay. Because sometimes they might want to fake results, but we'll have to ensure that you go through the legitimate process. Vertical, right? Okay. They're all approved hospitals. Thank you, Edozie Uchendu Emmanuel. Thank you from Egg Travel. Now, thank you so much for your time. Let me just take you back to Dr. Ibutere Keme Korobo. Yeah, in 30 seconds, let's get your take concerning what he has said. He said COVID-19 pretest, and of course pretest and isolation and all. Doc, can you see there in 30 seconds? Can you jump on what he said?
Well, I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with what he said. And like I said, I'm sure that F5 and the rest of them are doing a good job. So I just want to encourage him that he should keep doing a good job. And then to all, let's comply with all these things. And well, I'm very impressed. So well done. Very well done.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Faye Korobo is a consultant and, of course, endocrinologist. Is a former NMA chairman, Rivers State chapter. Thank you so much. Pastor, before I let you go, what do you think religious leaders should do at this critical moment? In 30 seconds, please.
Thank you again. I think it's just reinforcing and re-engineering our mind for preservation. Compliance is key at this point in time. I think our character content will continue to reinforce the commitment we have in preserving life. So I'm saying that we will continue to engage our people to retrain, and so that we don't slip into these normalcy again, because it is quite real what we are facing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick Wokoma. Thank you for joining us. And of course, Emmanuel Chendu from Egg Travel, thank you. And Dr. Faye Koribor, consultant endocrinologist from UPTH, and of course, former chairman, National Medical Association. Thank you so much. That's the size of the show this afternoon. Society Watch. Join us tomorrow, where we'll give you another bumper pack. I am Flora Duke. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
We anchor on the facts, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
front lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome to Atlantic Sports Junction on this lovely Monday afternoon. My name is Cyril Dumwite. Finally, there is good news for Nigeria at Tokyo Olympic Games as Nigeria's Blessing Oborodudu has booked her place in the finals of the 68 kg women's wrestling event at the ongoing Tokyo Olympic Games. Details of this and many more will be yours on this exciting edition of Sports Junction. Talking about good news at the Tokyo Olympic Games for Team Nigeria, it's been gloom and doom in the last couple of days at the Olympic Games, but finally, Blessing Oborodudu has won 7-2 against Rozobold of Mongolia to guarantee Nigeria at least a silver medal at the Tokyo Olympic Games. Competing at her second Olympics, the African wrestling champion had earlier defeated Azerbaijan's Molova at least 13-2 in the round of 16, and Kazakhstan's Zumurazarova Marine 3-2 in the quarterfinals today. The finals comes off on Tuesday, the 3rd of August 2021. And still around the Olympic Games, Lamont Marcel Jacobs became the first Italian to hold the title of world's fastest man. Jacob set a European record in the men's 100 meters dash at the Olympic yesterday, finishing in 9.80 seconds to win the gold medal. In the race, Britain's Zamel Hughes was disqualified for a false start in the 100 meters final, with Canada's Andre De La Grace running a personal best of 9.89 to repeat his bronze of 2016. American's Fred Kelly came up just short in his bid to become the first American winner since Justin Gatlin in 2004, taking silver in a personal best time of 9.84 seconds. Jacob, who had never gone under 10 seconds until this year, became the first Italian to qualify for the finals of the 100 meters in the Olympic Games. And in remarkable Olympic Games, there was a spectacular turn of events featuring another Italian, as Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi and Qatar's Mutat Ekza Bashim won both the gold medal in the Olympic men's high jump after being offered the chance to share the top prize by the official. After 3 failed attempts each at 2.39 meters, which is 7 feet 10 inches, they ended up tied and entered a conversation with an Olympic official who first offered them a jump off to decide the matter. The Qatarian then asked, "Can we not have 2 gold?" The official responded, "It is possible if you both decide." And before he had finished speaking, Bashim offered Tamberi his hand to agree to sharing the gold, and the pair shared an emotional hug before Tamberi wheeled away in celebration. And not to some good news, you may say, Simone Biles will compete in Tuesday's balance beam final, the last women's event on the Tokyo Gymnastics schedule. Officials confirmed this Monday. The 24-year-old American, who won 4 gold medals at the 2006 Rio Games, dropped out of the all-round floor exercise, vault, and of course, astigmatic bars final. It will be the first time the American will be seen competing in Tokyo following her withdrawal from last Tuesday's women's team final after her opening vault, citing mental issues. And in an unfortunate turn of events, Shericka Jackson, the 100 meters bronze medalist, is out of the 200 meters after making a careless error in her heat. Positioned in third, heading for the finish, Jackson bizarrely made the decision to ease off as she closed in on the line. Italy's Dalia Kadari overtook her in the final 50 meters, beating her by 0.251 of a second, which ultimately cost Jackson a place in the semifinals, as she did not qualify as a fastest loser either. And in other news, Belarusian athlete Kristina Shrimalowskoya walked into a Polish embassy on Sunday, a day after refusing to board a flight back to Belarus. The sprinter will seek asylum in Poland after being offered a humanitarian visa, and is free to pursue her sporting career in Poland if she so chooses. The sprinter, who was due to compete in the women's 200 meters heat on Monday, had her games cut short when she said she was taken to the airport to board a Turkish Airlines flight. But she refused to board the flight, seeking protection from the Japanese police. And now let's take a look at the medal table from the games so far. China is leading at the Olympic Games so far with 28 gold medals, 16 silver, and 15 bronze medals. Stories are happening now around the world. In Formula One team Aston Martin says they are planning to appeal Sebastian Vettel's disqualification from yesterday's Hungarian Grand Prix podium finish. The 4-time Formula One champion finished 1.8 seconds behind Esteban Ocon, but was stripped of his second place finish as only 0.03 liters of fuel could be extracted from his car instead of the 1 liter mandated by the rules for a post-race sample. The decision promotes Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton to second place and extends his championship lead over Red Bull's Max Verstappen to 8 points. From Formula One, let's look at football now, where Rivers Angel will qualify for the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League if they appeal against, of course, if they win against Amis du Mondial today by 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time. The Nigerian women football champions, who trashed AS Police of the Niger Republic, head into the semi-finals, not conceding any goal. Winners between Rivers Angels and Amis du Mondial will qualify for the CAF Women's Champions League. And I'm very sure that in a short while we'll be joined by Zoom, where one of ardent sports journalist that is in Ivory Coast to watch that encounter. But finally, back home, the race for competition qualifiers continues in the Nigerian Professional Football League as Enyimba International will trade tackles with relegation strugglers Sunshine Stars, while Nasarawa United will take on continental hopeful Enugu Rangers today. Rivers United will hope to salvage their season with a win against Lobi Star today at the Dokia Mercy Maker Stadium, while Kano Pillars will continue their fight to qualify for CAF against Wiki Tourists. Nasarawa United and Enyimba FC are both on 62 points in the MPFL, followed by Kano Pillars, who are settled for 4 points with 61 points. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll bring you a Zoom interview with one of our sports journalists that is on ground in Cote d'Ivoire in that match between Rivers Angels and their counterparts in Ivory Coast.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back, and it's Atlantic Sports Television here, and the program is Sports Junction. We've just been joined now from all the way Cote d'Ivoire by our correspondent, Ms. Faith, who is there to cover the maiden championship that involves teams from West Africa that will seek to qualify for the women, the first edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. And Rivers Angel of Port Harcourt, as champions here in Nigeria, is representing Nigeria in that CAF WAFU B championship. Faith, can you hear me? Faith, can you hear me? Can you please unmute yourself so that you can hear me, Faith? Unmute yourself. So
I can hear you very well now.
Okay. Nice to have you. How is Abidjan today?
Well, Abidjan is fine. Good afternoon. Bonsoir. Bonsoir, Nigerians.
Right. That's nice. How is the weather today for your match later on this evening?
Well, right now it's a little bit sunny. We hope it remains like this. But, I mean, whichever weather that comes, I think the girls are in high spirit and ready to go today.
This match is, we are told, will come on by 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Does it mean the match will be played under floodlights?
Yeah, 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time is 6:30 p.m. here in Abidjan. So definitely we're going to be playing under the floodlights.
You are to play a team from the Rivers Angels is to play a team from the from Togo, Amis Dumode of Togo. How prepared are the girls towards this very crucial encounter today?
Yeah, like you said, it's a very crucial match, and everyone here knows the importance of this match because a victory today will get that ticket to the first media CAF Women's Champions League set to take place in Egypt, and the girls are in high spirit. I mean, aside being in high spirit, the technical crew know what it means, and they've really gone ahead to study the Togolese team, and we have a lot of video analysis trying to study the team. Their last group match against the side from Burkina Faso, we were there at the stadium to watch it live. Then the first match they played that we didn't get to watch, we were able to get the tape, and we also studied it. So if all we have done trying to analyze the video of this team, if everything goes well, I don't see this team stopping Rivers Angels. I mean, the girls want to make a point. They want to write their name in gold to be the first set of girls from Nigeria to go to Egypt to play the median edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. So they are all in high spirit. And I mean, when I spoke to some of them, they say, that this life depends on it because they want to go to Egypt and they are ready to play their heart out to make Rivers people happy and to make Nigerians happy.
Well, talking about the girls saying their life depends on this encounter, what level of motivation do you think the girls have received back from the sponsors of the team, the Rivers State government? And do you think the motivation is behind their optimism towards these fixtures?
Yeah, okay, let me start. Before they came to Abidjan, they had a send forth, and the PDP chairman of Rivers State, Engineer Desmond Akawu, made a promise that for every goal they score, they will be giving 1 million naira for every goal. And while we're here in Abidjan, we've received calls from the Honorable Commissioner for Sports in Rivers State, Honorable Bomoya. He keeps calling the PAM Secretary, Honorable Onosara, who also called, encouraging them. And I think that was on Thursday last week. We had a call, and the commissioner called us and said and delivered a message from His Excellency Nyesom Wike, telling the girls that, I mean, you should go out and make Rivers people happy, and when you come back, there is a reward for you. So when you talk about motivation, they are not lacking motivation because everyone is encouraging them, more especially that 1 million naira for you go. And that is why they want to score the goals because, I mean, when you motivate people with money, you know what it means. Everybody likes money. So the girls are ready to do their best to get the result. Beyond the motivation, they want to write their names in gold because history will remember them that they are the first set of Nigerian girls to play the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League that is about to take place in Egypt.
Well, they've played their group games, and they have not conceded any goal, and they have scored as many as 7 or 8 goals now. What do you think is the strength of these Rivers Angels of Port Harcourt? Their last match, they beat their counterpart from the Nigeria Republic by 5 on-reply goals. But beyond that, they have not conceded any goals. What is the really big strength of the team?
Yeah, I think this when you look at the team in a whole, the attackers have been able to convert their chances. Their ability to score and not to concede. There's this kind of understanding in the defense line between Ugo Joko, Rafiat Mura, and Tosi. They have this perfect understanding among themselves, and I think the goalkeeper has been able to, control and be able to be in charge. Looking at it in a whole, I think being able to score goals and not concede is a plus for the team. And the coaching technical crew, I believe, have done a lot of work. Them, like I said, analyzing the Togolese side, we saw that they are very fast with the ball up front, and I think we've been able to study them and know that. We just have to hold them, play our pattern. If you get to play our pattern, they will be frustrated, and we should have more of the balls. And by the time they come for the ball, we should be able to take them on counter. And I mean, if everything works out as we have analyzed and planned, Rivers Angels are ready to go today.
Rivers Angels of Nigeria looking very strong with their goal scoring. How about their opponents from Togo? Do they have a very strong scoring capacity?
Yeah, they've scored 2 and they've also conceded 3. It shows that if we do our work well, we should be able to break through their defense. When you score 2 and you concede 3, it shows that the defense, there's a leakage in the defense, and it's just for the Rivers Angels attackers to capitalize on the leakage in their defense lineup and pump in the goals today.
Well, Rivers Angels of Port Harcourt, Nigeria, up against Amis Dumonde of Togo. One match to go. What does this mean? Do you think in this match will be decided by penalties, or it will just go? They will just go straight to the final? Because we understand a winner of this one will automatically be in the CAF Women's Champions League.
Yeah, everybody wants to be in the CAF Women's Champions League. Rivers Angels, I don't think they're underrating the team from Togo. The rule for this competition is that after 90 minutes, no winner, they go straight to extra time, from extra time to penalties. And I don't think the girls will want to stretch this game beyond 90 minutes. And so if they can take their chances in the game, every scoring opportunity they have, they convert it. I mean, we don't have any need to go to extra time. But being that there's something at stake in this match, I know the Togolese will want to fight hard. But whichever way, we don't want to go to extra time. We don't want to go to the lottery of penalties. I want to believe the girls want to win this match in 90 minutes. But even if it is being stretched to extra time, whatever way, I believe Rivers Angels are ready to make Nigerians proud. Whatever way, if we stretch it extra time, I know that we're going to get results. But like I said, the team, they've studied their opponent, and they're ready to do the job under 90 minutes. And we know that by the time we get the victory today, it's an automatic ticket to Egypt.
So on behalf of the girls, what message do you have for the people of Nigeria?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you to all Nigerians. We've been reading their messages. We've seen the love and the support all over the social media. The girls are happy that Nigerians are supporting them. We want to also say special thank you to Rivers State Government, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, for his love for Rivers Angels. We know that he's waiting to get the good news today. And on behalf of the girls, I'm promising him that Rivers Angels will deliver today, and it will be victory and dance galore here in Abidjan and over there in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Ms. Faith, and see you in the final of the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. Many thanks to Faith there for joining us all the way from Abidjan, where she is following up with the competition involving Rivers Angels and some West African teams to qualify for the CAF Champions League. Thank you very much, Faith. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And from that promising note from Faith, I would like to get at another Zoom interview. And of course, this time we are having the media of the Wrestling Federation of Nigeria here, where there is some good news for Nigeria, because the Nigerian wrestling team has actually got into what looks like a medal zone. It could be gold or it could be silver. Let's get at the media officer of the Wrestling Federation here, Mr. Emeka Dina. Mr. Emeka Dina. Emeka, are you there? Emeka?
I can hear you, Cyril. Good afternoon.
Oh, nice to have you. And I'd like to say congratulations for having the wrestling team up to the silver or bronze medal zone at the ongoing Olympic Games.
Cyril, it's a question of silver or gold now for Team Nigeria. Blessed Obododudu earlier today won her semi-final clash against the very experienced
Emeka, can you please take off your hand from your screen? I'm finding it difficult to see you. Please take your hands off your screen.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see me clearly now?
Not yet, not yet. Yeah, it's still dark. It's still dark. Maybe you need to move a little to where it's lit so that we can see your fine face. Yeah, you can stop there.
Okay, Cyril, I guess you can see me now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Of course, like you rightly pointed out, it's a question of silver or gold for Nigeria eventually in wrestling. The first of its kind, historic performance from Blessing Obododudu, earlier 2 hours ago, beating the very experienced Sorobogo of Mongolia 7-2 the semi-finals to book her place in the final tomorrow against top seed and American world champion Amira Mensah. What more can we say, Cyril? This is the first time a Nigerian even reached the semi-final in wrestling at the Olympics, and now we are guaranteed a medal because of our victory. It's either gold or silver for her tomorrow. Cheering news for the country in general after the poor outing of our contingent so far in the competition. So we are very glad and excited about the performance of Blessing earlier today.
I talked about the performance of Blessing earlier today in the 68 kg wrestling event. Like you mentioned there, it guarantees Nigeria either a silver or a bronze. But let's look at her opponent from Mongolia.
Gold. She's final already.
Sorry, yes. So let's look at the strength of our opponent. Who is she to meet in the final match?
She's up against Tamira Stock Mensah of the United States of America. Very, very credible opponent. Before the tournament started, before the Olympics started, they were seeded number 1 and 2. The American is seeded number 1, and Blessing is the second seed. They both met at the World Championships in Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan 2 years ago, and the American had the better of Blessing in the round of 16. She won 6-1 on that occasion. She's the favorite, no doubt, but Blessing will fancy her chances too. She will fancy her chances. In the semi-finals, Tamira Mensah was able to take out her Ukrainian opponent 10-4, conceding 4 points in the process. Before the semi-finals, she won her initial bouts 10-0, 10-0, bare technical superiority. But conceding 4 points means there's some vulnerability in her, in her abilities too. So Blessing can capitalize, hoping that she is good. It is now to go for gold. We have nothing to lose at this point. Go for gold. If you don't get gold, you can settle for silver, which is historic in its own as well.
Well, Emeka, talking about Blessing Oborodudu, she is Commonwealth and, of course, African Wrestling Championship multiple gold medalist. Will you say her preparation during this, tourneys had actually helped her out vis-a-vis the fact that she's been managed by an Olympian, talking about the chairman of the Wrestling Federation of here in Nigeria. We've talked about poor preparation, but it looks like the wrestling team Nigeria had enough and quality preparation ahead of the Olympic Games, and maybe that's why they are going for gold now or silver.
Cyril, you can say that again. Last year, even just before the pandemic, they went to the African Championships in Algeria, where Blessing Oborodudu herself retained her African title, 10 consecutive African Championship gold medals right now for Oborodudu. And of course, earlier this year too, just before the Olympics, as a matter of fact, in June, they went to the Poland Ranking Series tournament in Warsaw. She won silver on that occasion, lost in the final to Larukumba of France. But of course, before then, they had been camping in Yenagoa under the watchful eyes of the coaches, led by Purity Ako and Victor Kode, and heavily supervised by Daniel Igali, an Olympic gold medalist himself for Canada, you recall, Cyril.
Yeah.
So the preparation really helped, no doubt about that. They've been preparing seriously. This is her third appearance at the Olympics. Looks like now or never for her, and she's gotten it, I tell you. She was there in 2012, 2016, didn't do anything significant, but now the story has changed. Quality preparation, enough hard work, and it has paid off right now.
Many thanks, Emeka, for joining us on this joyous note, because it has been a moment of gloom and doom all these past couple of days at the Olympics for Team Nigeria. But the wrestling team...
Well, Oborodudu is finally the blessing in disguise.
Thank you very much.
She has put smiles on the faces of Nigerians right now, and we are excited about it. More to come, hopefully. Oduaya Dekuri is another medal hopeful. As far as wrestling is concerned, she will begin action on Thursday, and we hope she can end up with a medal as well, like Oborodudu.
Thank you very much, Emeka Dina. See you with the gold medal any moment
I'm
soon. very sure Blessing will bring gold to Nigeria. And
hopefully.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Emeka. Thank you. And nice to have the first media officer to bring a gold or silver to Nigeria at these Olympic Games. Thank you. Well, that's it for today. It's been on a cheering note that we are ending, because Nigeria will eventually have a medal. The color could be gold or silver at the Olympic Games that is ongoing in Tokyo, Japan. That's it. We should definitely continue to follow us here on Atlantic Television. On our Facebook or YouTube, it is at Atlantic Television Network, or on Instagram, which is at Atlantic TV Network. Stay with us.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
United Kingdom leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation.
anchor on the facts, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
referendum leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation.
For the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and
Anchor on the facts, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network, Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
Telling them not to count it.